Stop me if you've heard this one before. A movie director and his wife walk into a strip club. Not a joke. This is what actually happened, and it landed Luna Sofia Miranda a role in the Oscar-winning movie Anora. Spoiler alert, though, we did talk a lot about the movie, the ending, so if you haven't seen the movie, go watch Anora and then come back and check out our conversation. All right, Luna Sofia Miranda, thank you so much for joining me.
Oh my God, thank you so much for having me, Natasha.
Congratulations on your film. So you play Lulu, Annie's best friend in Anora. Annie is Mikey Madison. And how'd you get that role?
So I'd been acting for many, many years. This was my first big break, and it happened totally randomly. I work at a strip club in Brooklyn called Pumps, and Sean Baker and his wife and producer Samantha Kwan walked in one day, and we just started talking, and I told them, I'm an actress, I'm working here to pay for my headshots, and they cast me in their film. They had me audition, and they called me on my birthday to tell me that they wanted to offer me the role.
That's crazy.
It is actually insane.
Did you know that was Sean Baker?
No. Sean Baker and Samantha Kwan are really nice, laid-back people. They don't at all act like Hollywood. So I thought they were just a random couple, and we talked for like a half an hour, maybe 45 minutes, and it wasn't until the end that they said, by the way, we're Sean Baker and Samantha Kwan. We think we might have like a good opportunity for you.
Yeah,
and I was like, okay.
It's pretty serendipitous when you look at all of it, because when did you start stripping? When did you start doing that?
So I started stripping when I was 19 years old. I was in school for film and theater, and my scholarship got taken away for reasons that I don't know till this day. And some of my friends from the theater department were like, listen, we can help you pay your tuition. Just like roll with it, like come with us to the club one day, see if you like it. And 7 years later, I'm still here.
It's pretty incredible. When in Hollywood, what is the reality of being a stripper in Hollywood? The stigma behind it.
There's a big stigma, and I think nowadays people aren't really upfront about it. They won't say like flat out, I'm judging you, but you can kind of tell when someone's judging you. However, I'm really hopeful that Anora has kind of shifted the conversation. It seems to have opened a lot of people's minds.
Yeah. When I'm talking to you, obviously I'm hearing a lot of Lulu. You bring but you're bringing so much like real life experience to that character. So talk to me about the making of Lulu and how authentic that is.
So I got cast in Anora on my 24th birthday, and Lulu is a 19-year-old character. She's what we call in the industry a baby stripper, which it's just a word for someone who is like new at stripping. They can be 35. But I was a baby stripper when I was 19.
Yeah.
And I was like wide-eyed and optimistic and hopeful. And I feel like I really channeled that energy into Lulu.
Did you end up getting a butterfly tattoo?
Oh my God, okay.
Because I read that you would if Anora won Best Picture.
I did. I posted on Instagram if Anora wins Best Picture and a butterfly tattoo. And I'm looking for an artist. I want it to be the right tattoo artist. Yeah.
Okay, so Lulu is a baby stripper, and how much of the movie is the movie like pretty dead on with like the stripping industry, sex workers? Is it pretty realistic?
It's so realistic that I have trouble watching it because I feel like I'm watching like some of my memories play out on screen. It's so realistic.
Like, give me an example.
So when she's in the club and it's like so loud and noisy and there's people everywhere and she's like screaming over the music, hi, how are you? I'm Annie. Like, you want to go to the ATM? Like, you want to dance? Oh, no. Okay. Like, you don't have to be mean. You could just say no. That is like, I feel like a broken record myself, like saying those exact phrases like night after night. And the film does a really good job of portraying that kind of club life. We had a screening for sex workers in New York, and everybody was like, oh my God, that feels so realistic. It's crazy.
That it's a hard life. I mean,
it can be a hard
that's kind of what I took away from it. What did you make of the ending of the movie?
Oh my God, that ending, I felt like I was being stabbed in the heart. I get asked this question all the time, and it's so hard to answer. I loved the ending because I think a lot of the conversation about sex work is like, oh my God, like you shouldn't do sex work. Like you're going to get trafficked. Like you're going to get addicted to drugs. That's very like alarmist. I feel like a conversation that doesn't happen is that you get your heart broken when you're a sex worker. People promise you the world and then they rip it away. You get humiliated. And I think Anora is one of the first films to kind of really show us that like that side of sex work of like, you are very soft and vulnerable and you can get your heart like blown to pieces.
I was not expecting that ending. I did not expect to cry at the end, where it
cried too.
It hurt. It deeply hurt, and you really feel for Annie in that moment, where it's just like, wow, she's back to it again.
Yeah.
Right. Everything is shot in New York, in Brooklyn. Are you from Brooklyn?
Born and raised in Brooklyn.
So even better is a layer of, okay, you're at a strip club working when you get discovered to do the next Oscar-winning movie. And then on top of that, they're filming everything in your backyard.
Yeah.
What was that like?
Well, it was really easy to get to set every day. I could take the train. Honestly, the B train is faster than Uber. Taking an Uber to Brighton Beach, not a good idea. Just take the B train. And it was really cool just kind of getting to see New York in a different way. You know, I grew up in Brooklyn, but I'd never been to like the mansions of Mill Basin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What did you think?
That place was crazy. I felt like I was like at like a drug dealer's mansion in Miami. Like I'd never seen anything like that in my
Brighton
life.
Beach, right? It's crazy. Yeah. And you're living in Fort Greene now?
Yes.
Yeah, that's where. And you've lived there your entire life.
Yes.
Okay.
My grandparents helped raise me. They had an apartment in Fort Greene, and I've been living there forever and ever, and I'm still there.
It's pretty amazing. And you've had to overcome a lot in your life too. I was reading that your mom was sick for a while.
Yeah, she actually got sick while we were filming Anora.
What was that? I mean, that had to be really tough.
Well, at first, she actually didn't tell me she was sick because she wanted my, like, full attention to be on the film. She didn't want me to, like, stop filming to spend more time with her. Mm-hmm. And she was, you know, she made, like, a big sacrifice giving up her final weeks with me so that I could be in this film. And I think she knew in her bones it was going to be really big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's talk about how big it became. You were on the stage for one of the 5 Oscars that this movie won. What was that moment like?
To be honest with you, I don't remember. I think as soon as they called that Anora won Best Picture, I like blacked out. But I remember after Mikey won Best Actress and Sean won Best Director, we started to feel very optimistic. And I asked the very lovely people next to me to switch seats, and I was like, I think we might win Best Picture. Can you switch seats with me? Because I'm gonna have to run. And I did run.
You ran?
Yes.
In heels?
I ran in heels. I was like, I want to be on that stage.
That's good. And so wait, were you guys far back? How far was the stage? How far was this run?
We weren't that far back. I was just warned, like, you're gonna have a very small window of time to get there.
Yeah.
I actually think that I may have, like, I didn't need to run that fast.
You're a hustler, though.
I am a hustler. Listen, when a baller comes into the club and starts like throwing dollar bills around, you gotta run. So I brought that same mindset to the Oscars. Like, you got 20 seconds, girl, to get on that stage.
I love it. So the strip club in the movie, is that similar to the strip club that you were working at?
The strip club where we filmed is a little bit different than the place where I work. They're both kind of unique. They're both kind of unique when it comes to New York strip clubs. I work at Pumps, which is kind of like a dive bar with poles. That's kind of how it's marketed. Rosewood Theater, that's where Anora was shot. It's a little bit more upscale. They don't have poles at all. It's a little bit more kind of billed as like a cabaret experience. But at the end, it's the same game.
Are you still working at the strip club?
Yeah, I still work at Pumps.
Is that something you want to do? Like, or are you trying to get more into now acting? Are you phasing that out, or are you want to keep that going?
I want to be a full-time actress. That has been my dream since I was a little girl. I would eventually like to leave the strip club. It's not because I hate it. It's just because my dream is to be an actress. And the strip club has just been like a way to like support my career.
Working at Pumps, I mean, how has life changed? You're famous now.
You know? Oh my God. It's funny. People will come in and be like, you look familiar.
Right. I've seen you somewhere.
And they're like, wait, you're a stripper. Have you seen Anora? Did you watch the Oscars? And I'm like, oh yeah, like I heard about that movie.
Like, has life changed overall? Like, how has life changed since Anora?
It just feels kind of crazy that I get to do these insane things. I get to go to the Oscars. I get to go to Cannes. But then I go back to the strip club and I'm like arguing with men over like a $20 tip that like they don't want to give me. And I'm like, what is my life? This is crazy.
And they're so cheap. What?
They are. They can be very cheap. And I'm always tempted to be like, do you know I was in Best Picture? But I'm like, no. Like, that's not
the vibe.
No, that's not my vibe. That's not my vibe.
What was it like working with Mikey?
Oh my God. We had so much fun. We did a lot of improv. We were just joking around, especially in that New Year's Eve scene and like a lot of scenes in the club. We got to joke around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a fun scene to do, the New Year's Eve, the party in the mansion. Yeah.
That was my first day on set.
Really?
Yeah.
And how did you feel on the first day?
I was really, really nervous because I'm coming into this movie from like a weird place. I wasn't cast through like a traditional casting experience, and I was really nervous that like people were gonna kind of look at me sideways. But everyone on set treated me like a professional actress, especially Mikey, and she made me feel so comfortable. It felt like just the two of us at a party.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's really awesome that she was there to kind of be there with you and kind of be a support system too. At what point do you start to get a manager, publicist? Like, when do you start doing that?
Okay, so I got my manager through the Cannes Film Festival. I met someone who introduced me to someone who introduced me to my manager. It really is true what they say. Like, it's like through a chain of people that know each other. And then I had a publicist during the Oscars who was wonderful and lovely. I would love to work with them again, like, once the next project comes.
Let's talk about that. What is next for you?
Okay, so I played a really big role in this indie kind of coming-of-age sex comedy called Youthful Pleasures. We shot it in Vermont in October and November.
Okay.
And I think next week I'm going to the director's house because they have picture lock. So I'm so excited. It's going to be my first time like seeing the footage of myself in the film.
What are you feeling?
I'm feeling so nervous about my performance. But I'm trying not to be because I've gotten really good feedback.
Good.
Yeah.
Now, for Anora, did your family watch the movie?
My dad saw it 4 times.
He did?
Yeah, and my brother saw it, I think, more than once, for sure.
Were you nervous about that? Like, them watching?
I wasn't nervous just because my family is so supportive. And back when I was doing burlesque shows, which is different than stripping, my family would like come to my burlesque shows. And it was kind of like cabaret striptease, but like not as like overtly sexual as like, what I do at Pumps. And my family was always just like really supportive.
Did you have that conversation like, I went to a strip club, I'm going to start working there?
That initial conversation that happened while I was 19, still in college, that was, I think, a bit of a shock for my family. And I get it. Like, it's a hard thing for a parent to stomach, but I think that, like, years went by and they kind of came to understand this was my business.
Yeah.
Like, I was running a small business, and so it kind of just became, like, a normal thing.
While you were filming Anora, because I always wondered this, did you like think, oh my God, this is going to be Best Picture? Like, did you have that feeling ever?
The only reason why I knew Anora was going to be really big is because my father was like, your mother did not tell you she was sick because she knew this film was going to go to Cannes. She knew he was going to get nominated and she didn't want you to miss out. And she like predicted that. Like,
Wow.
yeah.
How's your mom doing now?
She unfortunately did not make it to see the film.
Oh my gosh.
But that just, it is sad, but, you know, we learn to take the good with the bad. And I feel like she honestly, like how do I say this? I honestly feel like this is so serendipitous. Like, it feels like it happened because of her. She introduced me to Sean Baker when I was in high school. Like, she took me to see Tangerine and the Florida Project. Then I meet Sean almost 10 years later, and I know his films because of her. And that was kind of how we connected, because he was like, wait, you know my films? And I was like, yes, like, what are you doing here? And I feel like she set that up, like, unconsciously.
Wow. There's so many different emotions, because I feel like you're the highest of highs and then lowest of lows with your mom's passing. How do you stay strong?
Honestly, it's been really hard having all of these, like, one success after the other.
Yeah.
And it's like, she should be here.
Yeah.
Because she sacrificed everything so that I could live my best life. But she just lived so joyously, and she was so strong. Like, even when she was sick, like, she never, like, complained. She was just always looking out for her family. And I feel like I try to channel that energy.
She would be so proud of you, Luna.
Oh, thank you. I like to think she would be proud too.
Your next movie that you're going for a director's cut for, what is the name of that movie?
Youthful Pleasure.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
And where can people learn more information about you and then watch that movie?
Okay, so you can find me on Instagram. It's at Luna_Sofia_Miranda. My website link is there, and I put updates to all of my projects, Youthful Pleasures, and also my own film, my baby film girl that I wrote and produced.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Okay, when is that?
It's being edited right now.
Okay.
I'm hoping to have picture lock in 10 weeks. Crossing my fingers.
So you filmed that and produced it?
I produced it.
Are you acting in it?
Yes.
Okay. Oh my gosh.
I did not direct it. My friend directed it, but I wrote and produced it.
What's it about?
It is about a female serial killer who seduces this very arrogant film bro and decides to murder him on camera.
Okay, casual.
Yes. It's very spooky, but very funny.
So I'm starting to see a little bit of a trend in like the kinds of movies you're interested in, like themes of, like, you know, seduction and sex and mystery, suspense. Is that your vibe? Is that kind of what you're into?
I definitely like things that are edgy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty much open to anything as long as I'm having fun. And I feel like, you know, the indie sex comedy was very fun.
Mm-hmm.
Like the murder movie that I made was very fun. I just like stuff that's fun. And it gives me a chance to create like a really weird character.
I like that. I think that's where a lot of the magic is, in the weird unknown that you're not seeing. Okay, Luna, I do something fun. It's called the Final 90. Can I ask you just like a bunch of rapid fire questions?
Let's do it.
Okay. Since you're from New York, Knicks or Nets?
Knicks.
Okay. Yankees or Mets?
Mets.
Ooh, they're in for a good season, I think. Deep dish or New York style pizza?
New York style pizza.
What do you think about deep dish?
Not for me.
Okay. Subway or bus?
Subway.
B train, right?
B train.
It's the one. Night in or night out?
Night in.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
My job is like going out. So on my free time, I'm like, I want to be at home and read a book.
Instagram or TikTok?
Instagram.
Why?
TikTok drives me utterly insane. It's like bees buzzing in my head.
It's too much. Sand or snow?
Sand.
And what's your favorite movie?
My favorite movie?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just because it's a very New York movie, Do the Right Thing.
Okay.
I love it.
Favorite song?
My favorite song, oh my God. Right now it's 365. Charlie
XCX.
XCX.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, Luna, it's so nice to meet you. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you so much. This was delightful.
Can't wait to see your next movie.
Me neither.